Hey, young adults, so glad that you are in one of our life groups for this next year and this next fall, whatever season it is, and for however long. We are just glad you are here. Some of you guys are really new and you don't really know what to expect. Some of you guys have been in this a while and you're like, JG, please shut up. We want to do life group. For all of us, we're just going to get back on the same page of, hey, what is this? How does it work? And what is ahead of us? We're going to start sending these leader videos at the beginning of every month so that you guys know exactly what is coming up. So first, I want to talk about what do we do when we have somebody who we want to join our life group? Because we're really excited. We want to share this because it's a great thing and we want to bring people in. Amazing. That's great. But what we need to do is we need to make sure they come through the front door of the ministry. What do I mean by that? What I mean is let's start by saying, great, sign up online, and then JG will reach out to you and explain it to you. And that way, we know everybody who's in this ministry, which means we can take care of the people who are in this ministry. When we have people who jump into life groups from the side doors and stuff like that, what we end up not being able to do is not knowing that they are there, which means we do not know when we can step in and support them. So if you have a friend who comes and joins the group, great, that's awesome. All we ask is that you direct them to sign up online at this link right here. Great, thanks guys. The next thing I have for you, let's talk about discussion questions. Why do we do life group this way? We decided a long time ago that life groups needed to emphasize living life with Jesus together. So that means we emphasize not necessarily deep biblical Bible study where you're taking an academic deep dive into understanding certain theological things and backgrounds. This is super important and we love this and there's a place for that. But we also know for this to be community minded, we were going to ask great follow-up questions of one another that help us apply the Bible to our life and then help us live it out together. It's so important to us, and that's why we have designed these questions for you. We've tried them all summer, but I just kind of want to explain the heart behind them further. We're going to keep doing this, so your discussion questions aren't going to change from week to week in your life group. The passage will change, and what Craig has preached on the previous week will obviously change every week, but the questions you use will always be the same. So with every new passage, we will ask these questions. First, the greatest Bible study question of all time. What stood out to you? It's a great icebreaker, kind of get people talking. But then we have these three questions in a row. We ask us to look up. What attributes of God's character do you see in this passage? What about God can you find out from what is in this passage of Scripture? It helps us understand, hey, who do we worship? What is His nature? Because we are on this lifelong journey of discovering who God is. Second, we look in. What does this passage say about humans? What does it say about me, about my heart, about how I act and tend to act, what I am tempted to do, what I am not tempted to do? What does it teach you about humanity? So we look up God's nature, we look in my nature, our nature, and then third, we look out. How do I live out the gospel based on what this passage said? The gospel is multifaceted, there's so many dimensions to it. So what does it teach me about how to live out my faith in the world? And then we always ask two great questions. What problems do you have with this passage? Like, where do you doubt it? Where do you have a hard time obeying it? Where do you not understand it? These are great questions for us to be really honest with one another. And then lastly, what would it look like for you to live this out in your life? So these are our questions. They're always the same, and they are here to give you a constant tool to engage Scripture with your friends. Because guys, more knowledge is not necessarily going to change our lives. What is going to change our lives is the presence of Jesus, a loving community, and obedience. So a lot of times we are educated far past the point of obeying what we already know. So these life groups emphasize, hey, what do we know and how can we live it out together? That's our hope for you guys. It's not because we're lazy and we don't want to create a new thing every week, but it's because we know that God's Scripture is alive and that you will find new things every time. So there you go. That's our heart for discussion questions. Now I am going to let you guys get back to group in just a moment, but I have three quick announcements for you. First, you already heard about it a lot. We cannot wait to see you at Echo Worship Night on September 6th. The address is at 660 South Broadway. And that is in Denver. It's at Denver United Church. Doors will open at 6:30. We'll have some food, we'll have some drinks. You can meet and mingle with people from other churches. And then at 7, we're going to pray over our city with young adult ministries from, I think, 8 other churches at the moment. We want this to grow, but not because we want it to be more famous, but because we want to see young adults united across our city to reach Denver for Jesus together. So we cannot wait to see you there. It's going to be so exciting. It's the first one that's happened, and we just can't wait to see what God's going to do. So we will see you there September 6th at Echo. Here's the second thing, fall retreat. More details are going to come out, but registration, September 1st. By the time you're watching this, probably already happened. So September 1st is a registration opening. If you have any financial need in any way, you'd like to get to retreat, but you're not sure if you can, email us. We would love to help. We always have scholarship money set aside, and our greatest heart is that you would never let money come in between what God might have for you at fall retreat. So we want to make a way. We're going to have such a good time. September 28th through 29th, just one night. We're staying at the Pad in Silverthorne, and we're going to get you more details soon. But at the moment, the cost per person is $59, covering all food and covering all retreat events while you are there. So excited. It's going to be a great time. I love fall retreat. Can't wait to see you there with us also. Now, here's the last thing. It's just looking way ahead to the YA night that is coming up on September 24th, because I am here to tell you that on that night, we will have a special guest, and that will be the very own Craig Smith here with us at YA night on September 24th. You won't want to miss it. Looking forward to seeing you there too. That is everything that's happening in September in Young Adults Ministry. Guys, we love you. We're so glad we are here with you and that you are sitting in the group that you are in, ready to learn how to love Jesus better and to love each other better and to find out what it really means to become like Jesus and join him on mission. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.